From Koreatown, Los Angeles, it's a special episode of Ktown Social Club. I'll be your only host today, Douglas Kim, right here in front of the Korean consulate in Los Angeles, Koreatown, Los Angeles, where there is currently a protest of President Yoon, where we are currently demanding his, I don't know, me, I'm just a reporter, but they are currently demanding President Yoon's impeachment because of the events of yesterday where he attempted a coup d'etat, a 4-hour failed coup d'etat. And although I think his fate is all but sealed, he'll probably likely be impeached anyway. I'm here on site to interview the members of the local Korean community and see what they think about this turn of events. And so let's do it. So why are you here today, Pastor?
Because I'm against President Yoon, who declared martial law yesterday.
What before he declared martial, is it just because he declared martial law, or do you not like his policies?
All his policies were against people, and he declared the martial law just to defend his wife. You know, his wife was about to be on the special hearing at the Congress. They were going to pass that law, and to stop that special hearing at the Congress, he declared this martial law. You know that this not allowed, this illegal, and they cannot this martial law was not called for. So people, both opposition party and the winning party, they both were against that martial law. That's why all the congressmen voted against that martial law, including the winning party, president's party. So and you cannot bring military to close down Congress. That's downright illegal and unconstitutional. He should be
Impeached?
impeached.
Yes.
Well, as you know, late Tuesday night, South Korean President Yoon Yeol declared martial law in an illegal move that was quickly then revoked after unanimous vote by the National Assembly. And so we're here to support the South Korean people's demands and their elected officials' demands to have Yoon resign, to have the impeachment effort be successfully seen through. And as the speaker just noted, also calling for a larger transformation of society away from militarism, away from war, away from authoritarianism. So, yeah.
I do want to learn more. That is one of the reasons why I came out here. And also, I think it's important that you come out and you make your presence known, especially when an issue this big. And it's not, I know that for people who live here and me as a Korean American, the fact that President Yoon is all the way in Korea doesn't necessarily affect me personally, but the fact that this is happening more and more throughout the world, that these conservative quasi-dictatorships and this like push to be more about the 1% or about collecting power in these small pockets of people rather than caring about the regular people, I guess if you want to call it that, or the majority, that's happening more and more. And so the fact that it's happening in one part of the world means that it's going to be continue to trickle throughout the rest. So even though this is technically just for the impeachment of President Yoon, it's more than that. It's for also, we need to look out for what's going to be happening when President Trump comes in. And we still need to be on guard for what's happening in Israel and with Palestine. It's happening everywhere. So that's why I thought it was important to come out, even though I don't really know the specifics of what's happening.
We are here today because yesterday Yoon Yeol attempted to instate martial law in South Korea, and he was shut down by every single force of power that exists in the government. And now we are calling for his impeachment because, first of all, he can't get away with doing something like this. And he is a wildly unpopular president. He has some of the lowest approval ratings in history in South Korea, and we need him gone. We need him replaced by someone who really reflects the interests of the Korean people.
So then, what do you personally think is going to happen now? Like, because it does seem like all the 6 opposing parties are gearing up for impeachment. So do you think that'll likely happen, or what do you think? What do you see happening?
I mean, the things that I keep reading is that Yoon Yeol is one of the most unpredictable leaders in South Korean history. So we might think that it is all but assured, but we have seen all sorts of things in South Korean politics where authoritarian leaders go rogue. And And so we have to stay ever vigilant. We have to keep supporting the civic society and calling for impeachment and pushing for a democratic process. And so while we see that, overnight within 6 hours, civic society rose up and was able to push back against martial law, we still need to keep pushing.
And why, prior to yesterday, why would you say he was wildly unpopular with the Korean public? Like, what was his policies, and why did people not like him?
Right. So he's known for being very corrupt, very conservative, and very much serving U.S. interests. He reinstated a lot of the military alliances that the previous progressive president Moon Jae-in tried to kind of like destroy and pull out of. And he has made it harder for future presidents to get out of these military alliances in the future. For example, JACUS, the Japan-Korea-U.S. alliance. This is a direct threat to really every actor in the Pacific if you're not aligned with U.S. interests. And this is another very difficult military alliance to get out of. This puts Korea in a really precarious position. We are in the closest to war that we've ever been in, honestly, decades. And we say this over and over, but it's dire. And we can really fault Yoon for this. And he has also raided and detained and has been trying to go against what he calls counterinsurgents, anti-state, pro-North forces. But really, he's calling that to anyone who opposes him. And that was probably what he was trying to get away with during martial law.
So I did notice that, Yoon Suk-yeol had, 19% approval rating, the lowest in South Korean history, I believe.
17% as of last month.
17%. But yes, the lowest in history. But it does remain that he does have that 17%, right? So then who do you think comprises this 17%, and why do you think they still support him despite everything?
Well, I think, here in the U.S., we see our own far-right movement. We see people who radicalize, who feel left out, are just have bigoted thoughts, and they want to see an authoritarian, strong man in office. Well, yeah, and I just saw, I think, a public opinion poll that only 75% of the thousands of South Koreans that were polled, 75% were in favor of impeachment. So what's going on with the 25%? I mean, you know me, where I stand, I'm going to be thinking about things in terms of militarism, in terms of war. I think when there is a constant state of security crisis, when there's a constant state of war and unpredictability, you're going to go for the strong arm. You're going to go for who sounds authoritarian. And it's in an idea that is what provides security. Yeah.
I can only assume that they're either conservatives by history. They've just been historically very much on right wing, and they've supported right wing candidates in the past, or they have direct vested stakes with Yoon's presidency, either with his corporate kind of ventures, or whether it's with the military. For example, anyone who has a stake in military stocks, Japanese and ROK military stocks tripled. They went up by 40% after the martial law was called. It was a massive spike. And so anyone who has any kind of stake in the military or corporate finance, they would love to support Yoon, because Yoon is trying to make that, in the classic conservative way, very much feasible and possible. So I could only assume that they're just very loyal to the Conservative Party, loyal to the PPP, and they're trying to stay. But honestly, I don't know if that's going to save him. I don't know if that's going to save him from the 200 votes that are necessary to overturn him. So
what do you make of Yoon's charges that the people who are opposing him, they're North Korean spies, or they're communist sympathizers, and what do you make of, I guess, I know you say you don't know much, but what do you make of that idea, or how do you conceptualize North Korea today?
I mean, North Korea has always been a problem in the sense that there's so much propaganda around it, coming out of it, and the propaganda that we put onto it, that we don't know and I don't know if I can cuss, so I won't, but we don't know what the hell's going on over there, right? We don't know what's true and what's not true. So I can't really speak on that, but I can speak on the fact that propaganda has been used for centuries to other people to make sure that we have these clubs so that, I'm the in crowd and you're the out crowd. Believe me, don't believe them. They're the enemy. To create that, we have that here, liberals and conservatives. So his claims that his enemies, I guess you want to call them, are communists. I mean, whatever. I'm sorry.
It's almost like the Republicans here calling Democrats communists, right?
100%. Communists, fascists, socialists, whatever moniker you want to put on it, all it means is you don't agree with me and I don't like you.
Just kind of like McCarthy era nonsense.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. Okay.
I believe the DPRK has been used as a scapegoat and an excuse to do a lot of horrible things to the progressive movement in South Korea. I don't think that there's any real basis in these claims. It's just such an easy tactic to use. Anyone who opposes me is a DPRK spy, of course. This has been the case since the 1950s. They have tried to suppress anti-state movement by calling them DPRK spies. There's no basis to this, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it will just continue to sow violence, and it's ridiculous rhetoric, really. Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add, or?
No, we just got to keep our eyes open. Don't get so distracted by the other BS that's going on in the world in terms of, like, I don't know, Miley Cyrus's whatever, or Lindsay Lohan's Botox, and just keep your eyes open, and that. I don't know if you guys heard that, right?
Not even related to it.
Well, it is a little bit, the fact that, Trump supporters and stuff, just to keep your eyes open. And also, I would also just say, try not to get so entrenched in your own viewpoint, whether you're a liberal or conservative or whatever, to just learn more, because both sides are problematic. I'm not going to say that liberals are right. A lot of problems there too. And so just keep your eyes and ears open and try to learn, and
just keep informed.
Yeah, stay informed. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would just like to say to all Koreans, I guess, of diaspora that are here, to really uplift the voices in Korea who are, working with the labor movement and the people's movements, and they have been fighting against this for so many years. They have been directly impacted by Yoon's policies, and they would have been on the front lines if the martial law had passed. We should listen to them. Look them up. There's the KCTU, the Korean Trades Commissions Union. There's also a lot of other groups like GIOSC and PPS. They're doing amazing work. We should listen to them, really uplift them, reiterate what they're saying, and carry on their struggle as diaspora Koreans here. And that would be so helpful to Koreans of the homeland, and it would create a strong base of progressive Koreans out in America.